Wednesday, December 17th, facilities meeting to order. Let me lead us in a prayer, please. Our dear Heavenly Father, we're thankful for this day, and Father, we're thankful for our country. And Father, we just pray that you'd be with our country, and we're really concerned, Father, about the different things that are going on, all the shootings and everything else. And we know that you're in control of everything, and we thank you for your Son, Jesus. Help us to be good stewards of the money we're entrusted with, and bless all of our employees and their families, and help them to all have a wonderful Christmas season. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. There's no public comment, so we'll go to the approval section. Minutes from November 19th, 2025, Facilities Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the minutes of November 19, 2025.
No, second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Item 2, final adjusting change order pump station 4002, 4001, and 3101, Mr. Burns.
Yes, sir. This is, as it states, a final adjusting change order. We have a couple of deductions for quantities not used, as well as an addition for bringing the new Georgia Power service line in to pump station 3101. The total increase to the contract amount with the Georgia Power charge minus the deductions is $24,843.90. And then this also provides a time extension through the end of the time they were working on it, September 30th. So this would be allowing for final payment and project closeout with the increased contract amount at a total of $1,780,160.90. You can see the supporting documents have all the information on the back. The $6,000 for erosion control was not used at 2 locations, but there was the addition of a Georgia Power charge at $36,843.90. So there's where we get our design professional, Kimley Horn, is in support of this, and it was a total of 2.1% adjustment to the original contract value. So they do have the charges listed from Georgia Power for the different locations that were in there. And then how that cost breakdown came about. Any questions about this? All 3 of these stations are functioning very well following completion of this project.
Let's get the motion on the floor, then we can have a motion.
I make a motion that the Facilities Committee recommends to the final full commission approval of the final adjusting change order as a project time extension with an adjusted final project completion date of September 30, 2025, and adjusted final contract amount of $1,780,160.90.
Okay,
I'll second.
motion and second. Questions? Andrew, can you show us what stations these are?
Yes, sir.
The system, and then give us the scope of work that was in those. It's mostly electrical stuff.
Mostly electrical scope. The change order addition is for changing the voltages coming in on all 3 services. Let's see here. 4001 is,
Why do we have to change the voltage coming in?
I think 3101 was just a 240 station. It's going to 480.
Yeah.
And 4001, I think, was going to 3-phase. 4002 should have already been 3-phase. So I don't, do you know what we did at 4002?
That was moving.
Moving
Yeah,
the service,
moving the
not
service.
changing the voltage, but moving the service there. So 4001 is in South Brunswick, down on Newcastle Street, very near Logistec and the
Do we have
port.
a picture of that, Todd?
Picture of what?
We have a picture of that station?
We do. Probably best.
Yeah, hang on, I can get there.
Review, let's move it to a little bit of
Well, it's kind of seemed to me that if you're going from 230 to 480, that's shown on the construction drawings, and that'd be kind of left up to the contractor. Why didn't he coordinate that with Georgia Power beforehand?
Let's talk about the entire scope of the project first, so we'll understand what they had to do. We were not replacing pumps, it was all electrical, right?
All electrical, yes, sir. Originally, there were some additional scope items that were, I don't know why this is not working, it's not letting me in. All right. Let me pull up Google Maps.
Do we have a picture in the back, Todd, that, well, the projects that shows that pump
No,
station?
because they're already done. We've had them in previous months.
So basically, it was just all electrical, right?
It's correct. Yeah, the project was really scaled back to primarily just electrical.
But we change out control panels.
Yes, sir.
Do we have VFD pumps?
Yes.
This pump station 4001, this is, picture was taken November of '24, so this is when it was under construction. You see the bypass hoses there. But we've redone this electrical station here, new covering, and obviously replaced and got the bypass out of there, so we've got functioning pumps and stuff in there now. Originally, we were going to do a little bit more work to some of these stations, but it got de-scoped because the original bids came in very, very high. So we went back to just the electrical needs originally. 4002 is the one, and then behind Tate's Feed and Seed right there across from Indigo, which is got the mural painted on it.
Yeah. That had a lot more stuff to it.
This had some building improvements, and a new roof, I believe, was included in the scope of work on this. So again, this is while it's under construction.
That's also the one where the pole was relocated.
Pole was relocated outside, which is what the charge was for that. New ventilation inside the building, repainted the entire inside of the building, built a new electrical room, replaced all the electrical panels and control panels inside, new VFDs using the exact same pumps. And 3101 is right by Satilla Marsh Elementary School off of Southport Parkway. So,
That's essentially.
again, all new electrical panels here. It's set up for triplex for electrical panels now. And we had Comcast came in and relocated their service drop as well to keep it from going across our property. And like I said, new electrical panels and controls and everything down there. So they basically, all three of them got brand new electrical services and brought them up to date because they were near the end of their useful lives for the electrical systems.
Now, obviously, some of the time was because of delivery problems. Is that
A couple of the time, we had some major delays on some switchgear to get that included in the project. And we had some issues with getting submittals approved, not because of the engineer or us, but because they were not providing the correct information on the submittals on the front end, so that extended the project a little bit as well, so before they could get started on it. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we were able to get 3 pump stations with brand-new electrical equipment installed for a total final contract amount of, what, 1.8 million, 1.78 million? What was it? Sorry.
And what was our original estimate?
Original estimate was about 1.4, but that was budgeted several years before this actually got started. 1.78 million was the final.
Yeah, they had to have bypass pumping while they're doing all this?
Yes, sir. Because when we took the electrical systems out, they all 3 had to be on bypass. Now, there's already an existing bypass pump at 4002 that's there permanently. We brought in an additional bypass as a backup, and then we had 2 bypasses at the other locations for a primary and a backup during the project. We actually did bypassing. We took on bypassing ourselves to lower the cost of the project.
Was Popco the main contractor?
Yes,
And
they were the
that's-
prime contractor. HDI is an electrical contractor out of, I believe, the Jessup area. They were the electrical sub.
Any other questions?
I guess my question still comes back to this Georgia Power one that Popco submitted, and they have a cost breakdown. On the piece of paper, it's the memo.
Yes, sir.
as the cost breakdown, he shows 1, 2, 3 and a subtotal right there.
Right.
Okay, what are the cost breakdowns?
These are the Georgia Power sheets that are attached behind that. So first page, the
Okay, I don't-
8,000
I don't
is,
I don't have those.
you don't have this?
No.
I'd scale it back. I didn't know if that detail was gonna be required, but it's, yeah.
Okay.
We don't have those invoices.
No, sir. That was part of 42 pages worth of documents.
Okay, well, that answers that question. What was the 10% number?
Their markup. Typically, when we do Georgia Power adjustments, we put an allowance in the contract. We did not do that on this one to avoid that markup being included in there, but it was not included on this bid package.
So I'm giving them,
So was this just a lump sum bid?
Wasn't, no, sir.
The pay estimates? Do we have the pay estimate?
We do have the pay estimates, yes, sir. Well, I don't know if it's in your packet or not, but we do have pay estimates. There were 7 line items or 6 line items because we took bypass pumping out.
Yeah, there is here. You didn't have any extra work items or anything?
No, sir, because the original bid prices came in so high, we were trying to avoid having
Yeah.
that in there.
With that said, Andrew, are recent bids looking more reasonable?
We're getting better at estimating them. They've seemed to have leveled off a bit more.
So we're adjusting to their cost rather than,
We're not getting any cheaper.
what we're seeing over at the county is things have gotten a little bit cheaper in the bid. There's more people bidding, so it's more competitive.
We are struggling still to get multiple bids on projects, so.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people show up for the meetings, but when it comes down
To turn in the bids, we're struggling to get more than a couple bids per project right now. Now, if we put out like a CIPP contract, we can get 6 or 7 bids on that, and we get good prices on that. Some of the major plant construction rehab work, we get 4 or 5 numbers on that and get pretty good prices on that. But the line work and pump station work, we're still struggling to get bids back on. And again, we'll have 10 contractors show up to the pre-bid and look at the job. They just don't give us bids at the time.
So have we tried to look at the reason for that? Is it too complicated? Does it get outside what they're capable of doing? Is it because the specs are drawn in such a way that it's hard for them to bid? I mean, I'm just, looking at why.
and truthfully, we haven't bid a pump station project in a while.
Since this one, right, yeah.
So it's been over a year,
And this is not a typical pump station, though. This is just electrical for it.
Just electrical. So some of the, I mean, we are very present on our projects, which some contractors don't like us being as present as we are on our projects. But some of it's just the amount of available work that people have had. They haven't had to chase jobs that aren't teed up perfectly for them, so.
That's what it's beginning to look like, is there's not as many.
Not as much
of
that's
those
teed up,
jobs
right.
out there, so there's more people bidding on what is.
Yeah, so we had a pre-proposal last week on the Academy Creek job. We had 5 or 6 prime contractors there for that. And I've talked to all of them since then, and they all have told me they intend to give us a proposal for that job. So if we can start getting 5 bids on projects, we'll start getting better prices, just because they'll have to be more competitive.
And that's what we're seeing,
Yeah.
is we had over at the county as well, adjusted our price up to take care of post-COVID stuff, and now that it's slowing down just a little bit, the prices are probably still higher than they were
The
5
prices
years
are
ago,
staying
not as high
a
as
lot,
they
a
were.
lot flatter than what they were.
Yes, so,
I always I jokingly said and this is honestly the truth, when you used to estimate projects, you take the material cost and double it, and if it's very specialized, you add a little bit of buffer to it. Now it's take the material cost and multiply it by 4.
yeah.
Well, on every construction cost, we need to at least put in 10% contingency after we take bids, or at least 5%, just to cover unknowns.
And 90% of the time we do that, but in this situation, because the project had to be scaled back because of the original bids came in at like $3 million for the original scope of work, those got dropped out of the contract to try to keep it closer to budget. Because the unfortunate reality is if you give them the 10% contingency, they're going to use it.
Can we not embed it in our estimate without revealing it so that we have that as
We do, but
a buffer?
it's the game that you end up playing that I hate, of every time somebody asks a bid, the first question they ask is, what's your estimate for the job? Well, I don't want to tell you what my estimate for the job is, because if I tell you that, that's what your bid's going to be.
Yeah, or more.
Or more, right. That's the bottom of what your bid is going to be
Yeah.
at that point. But if you don't give them the estimate, they won't bid on the job.
And I would say there's pretty good competition for electrical contractors between the material for that. So any electrical components of any of our jobs, we've seen a lot of delays and bigger price tags, I think, across the board.
Yes.
Electrical's the biggest delays of any.
Most of our projects that are under delays right now are due to electrical issues, not electrical issues, it's getting the materials here. Even though we're, 5 years past COVID, the electrical systems have not caught up yet to try to get a transformer now, still taking an inordinate amount of
As long
time.
as they can keep a shortage, they
Yeah.
can keep the price.
Exactly.
Well, we understand the electrical delays, but did he put in additional overhead and all that because of that?
Not on this. The only overhead he has included here is the 10% on top of the Georgia Power direct cost. So his overhead's $3,000 on this that he's getting extra. Do I think there's probably overhead in the project because it was an extended project on the original front and he expected it to be? Yes. I do suspect that's part of it.
But you said it came in at 2 and something.
The first bid was close to $3 million and we scaled it back.
The percentage over.
2.17%, yes,
2.17.
over the original
We
contract.
awarded it, it came in 2.17.
No, this change order is 2.17% higher than the original contract amount.
Okay, so it's within that 10%.
Right, absolutely.
So do we have any other questions? All in favor? Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Andrew.
Yes.
Next item is final adjusting change order pump station 4044.
All right, so this is the exact same thing, just at a different pump station in a different project. Popco, again, is the contractor.
Tell us where that station is.
4044 is on Altamba Connector. Right by the old Pay Less, now Breaks for Less.
Okay.
We built, the pump station was in the right-of-way, a very small pump station, very nondescript pump station, just a couple electrical panels in the right-of-way. We built a brand-new station beside the Prime South Bank location. Because while it has a very short force main, you can see the road cut there where of course, it's not on this. Oh, come on.
That station looks real good, doesn't it?
It does. Can't see it now. So we'll go back to this is new. Yeah, black vinyl clad. So you can see it's got a very short force main. That's the manhole right there that it dumps into, but it just lifts it a few feet. So we moved this down.
Across
Sir?
the street. The line just goes across the street.
Just across the street, yes, sir. This is the old pump station, wet well here, that we converted into a receiving manhole, built a new station here. This station sees about 2,500 gallons a minute, so it gets a whole lot of flow. It just doesn't look like it. So we built a brand-new pump station, and by doing that, we had to relocate the Georgia Power service and everything coming in. We did do an allowance for Georgia Power on this one of $2,500, but Georgia Power's amount was $50,000 to do the work. However, there were some items that were not used in the original contract. So the total adjustment to the contract amount is, let's see here, about $12,000, $11,900 and something dollars here on this contract. Or, sorry, yeah. Yeah, about $11,000 on the, or $18,000 in the net change in the contract amount. Brings the total price for the brand-new pump station to $1,992,582. Different engineer on this one. This was done by LEA out of Valdosta. They have submitted their support of the additional work for Georgia Power. And then you see an attached documentation here. This does also include a time extension to get them to the end of the contract as well. So exact same thing. This is just the Georgia Power cost minus additional items that were not used.
Can I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Facilities Committee recommends approval of the final adjusting change order as a project time extension with adjusted final project completion date of November 19th and adjusted final contract amount of $1,992,582.34.
Second.
Motion second, any questions?
You said it was on the October meeting?
Andrew, can you go back to the one, there's this LEA sheet?
Yes.
Okay. On this sheet, it says that the Georgia Power.
Georgia Power Lines was 25,000, not 2,500. That was a typo on the previous page.
Okay.
And
But
so
it
the-
also says that the final bill for their work was $43,762. If you flip to one of the following pages from the Popco estimate, it says that the Georgia Power final cost is $50,327. Why am I?
That would include their 10% markup,
That's not.
or maybe a little higher than 10%. Yeah. That, I assume that has markup included in it.
You see what he's talking about, Todd?
Yes, I do see what he's talking about.
Yeah, I see the 50,000 in there. I did notice that, we noticed back in the 2,500 was more on this kind of.
I used to like it when my paperwork kind of lined up.
I don't know why, so the 40, I don't know where they're coming with 50,000. I think they burned themselves up when they had their error there of 2,500.
Nevertheless, the number that's approved is based off the 43,000 and the 25,000, so that's from LEA. So those numbers are the correct numbers and the amount that is being requested to be adjusted in the contract, minus the additional extra items here that were not used completely.
All right, so you guys are okay with all those numbers not aligning?
To close the project out, yes, sir.
Just asking.
To close the project out, yes, sir.
So what numbers need to be revised so they do align?
The ones that we have aligned, the ones in the Popco letter do not match up. So the ones from us and from LEA line up.
And that's what we pay.
That's what you're paying and what the motion is.
Well, not really, because the LEA says the amount is 43,000 and they subtracted 25,000,
Which was the original bid amount. The error was on Popco.
so it should have been 2,500.
25,000, not 2,500. That Popco made the error in theirs. The 25,000 was the original allowance. The numbers from LEA are correct.
The allowance.
The allowance was $25,000. So the cost was 43. They subtract the original allowance amount out, so the 18,000. Then there's additional items. Hang on.
So the allowance, originally when you said 2,500.
I was incorrect on that, yes.
Okay.
I was incorrect on that. But there's a few items here, balance to finish, you see on the work for extra items. So 5,200, 5,785. So it's about 6,800 bucks that would go against that $18,000, in which where you get the total $12,000, 11,900, whatever it is, addition to the contract.
And this is the only,
It's only adjustment to the contract originally. It's a, so, you know,
Does
12.
this have a time extension too?
This does have a time extension in it as well to get to when they completed the work, to balance it out.
but the work is completed.
Work is complete, station's functional, everything's done. This is to balance it out so we can do because it went over the contract amount, so we can pay out the final pay app and the retainage.
Did they do bypass pumping the whole time, or were we bypass pumping?
They did bypassing on this one, I believe.
This one.
Yeah, they did bypass pumping on this one. This is a situation where bypass pumping is one of these things that we have started taking on a lot of, because this number here was bid, and they are very forthcoming. It was bid as if they would have to bypass it for the entire length of the contract. They probably bypass for 2 weeks.
Right.
So that's why we've started doing a lot of that, because other that or having to detail exactly how many weeks we include of bypassing in the original contract and having to go back and forth with them on that, we're going to keep getting these inflated numbers on things like that, because if it's originally a 12-month contract, a lot of contractors are going to put 12 months worth of bypassing in there, even if it's just 2 to 4 weeks worth of bypassing that's necessary. So we could start putting on bypassing like an allowance, per 4 weeks as a unit cost in there for that.
I see Jason's name on some of this.
Jason was a project manager for this.
Okay, so they look at it, and then Todd and you both look at it before?
I don't look at this, Jason would look at it and then we go to Todd.
Then I'll look over it, yeah, I'll be policy.
Before it's presented to us?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Then we'll present.
Okay. And what was the original price?
$1,980,656.90.
And what's the amount of the change order final?
$11,900.
But what did the price,
$1,992,582.34 is what it went to.
and how much is that over the original estimate?
About, the original estimate for this was, I believe,
No, the original construction cost.
original construction cost is about $11,000 over that original number, so hang on.
All right. Y'all got any other questions? All in favor? Motion carries 3-0.
My typing skills on my phone lose
The
something.
next item is infrastructure dedications and conveyance of easements. Mr. Klein?
It's 0.6% over the original contract value.
There we go.
That's good.
Right. Chairman, Commissioners, good afternoon. This is a typical dedication. 3 items on here: Village Bluff, residential development on St. Simons, Bergen Woods, also a residential townhome style development on the mainland, and the lakes at North Glen off Harry Diggers Boulevard on the mainland, Phase 1. And cover these very quickly here. German Village, that's going to add a little over 1,200 linear feet of 8-inch PVC and a little bit of sanitary sewer line as well to tie into the existing force main that's on German Village Drive or Village Drive. The key point with this is the first time we've gotten water extended underneath Lawrence Road to German Village. So we got an 8-inch main over there now, driven by this development project here. So that's a benefit for us and the folks out there in that development. Opens up water expansion, fire protection, everything coming down through there. We did work with the developer in this case to provide some materials to upsize from the size that they needed. They could have brought over a 2-inch line. We worked with them to upsize that while they're in the motion of getting underneath Lawrence Road and all that coming across. So good cooperative work with our applicant in that case. And that's going to add 6 new customers at 6 already platted residential lots over there. That's these guys here. And if there's any question, I'm happy to navigate through GIS as well and show you on the map.
Are these pressure lines?
These will be. There's no gravity sewer available in the area. So these do connect to a force main that then crosses back underneath
This is just water, though.
Lawrence Road.
The sewer's already in. This is just
Yeah,
water.
right. They tied onto the existing force main that's out there. So that system on Village,
So this is only talking about water.
The sewer has been there. They will be
Yeah.
tying to the sewer line, but this project here just put water out there.
yeah. So if we go, yeah, there's a little bit of sewer in there. Yeah, force main for them to connect in.
Right, yeah,
194 feet.
yeah.
But yes, those will be grinder stations on each lot and individual connections.
And they're responsible for replacing those pumps.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is a good option. I know we talked about this last facilities meeting about grinder station options when, gravity sewer versus the more, in this case, gravity sewer is not available at all in this neighborhood. But this is an economical option for them as well, to still get tied on as a customer, wastewater customer. Okay, next item is Bergen Woods. Bergen Woods is just to the south, adjacent to the safety complex off the spur. Residential development. Interesting thing with this one is it was originally planned and developed as a single townhome development. It changed owners close to the end of construction, and then they ended up platting this as individual lots within. So it threw us for a little bit of a loop on as far as when a project is kicked off and first submitted, we require the applicant to declare, is this going to be public or private? Right-of-ways, roads, and then therefore for our interest, water and wastewater collection. There is a pump station involved with this one here. As originally planned and developed as a single commercial unit or enterprise, it was going to be master metered, and there was going to be a private pump station. Everything on site was going to be private assets, water and sewer. When they went to platting it, now we have individual residential customers out there. The water lines were then dedicated with easements to us, and now each unit is individually metered as a customer. The only strange thing about it now is that the collection system is going to remain privately owned, the pump station, everything. Now they're discharging via connection to a force main out in the spur right away. So it's not ideal. They didn't want to upgrade the pump station to public standards, three-phase power, size of the parcel.
So we're taking over the pump, we're gonna have the pump station.
We're not going to have the pump station. Pump stations remaining private.
But we're good.
We're getting the water.
So what about the sewer to the individual houses?
The sewer goes to the pump station, and it's a private pump station, and then it dumps into the public system at the end of the force main.
It's
Correct.
gonna be
Why is
joint
it- Why
water.
is it a private pump station?
It was originally designed and approved as, when it was one single entity, as a private, everything on site was private, water, and it was a master
It's
meter
been on a
project.
long time.
Yes, it has.
This one has, this one's been a long time.
There's two pump stations we upgraded to handle this.
Mhm.
And they've been upgraded a long time, plus we relocated a new force main to handle this. I think, is that right, Andrew?
That's correct.
So we spent a lot of money on this, and didn't they have, what's that kind of stuff they get enter into, some kind of?
They fronted some money to get the project done downstream.
But then
Right.
they changed the scope of the project to reduce the scope of it? Or is it increase the scope of it?
This didn't change the flow from the project. They just went from basically more apartment-style buildings to individual townhomes on platted lots.
Okay.
So basically the same roof lines, it's just split up.
Still joined.
Split the joint, it's just on platted lots instead of one major lot.
So do we have
So-
individual meters for each townhome?
Yes,
Whereas apartments, sometimes you don't?
master meter for the apartments
Right.
typically.
So how do we get compensated for the sewer?
Off the water meters?
Off the water meter. So I think, wasn't that
Yeah.
where you were going?
Yeah.
But, it's private lift station they have to maintain.
They do.
Right.
But, and I think we've had discussion, we're not gonna allow any more of that.
That is something we have been pushing, but some of these legacy projects have been planned to be private for a while.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, this one's already
Yeah.
in work. I would never recommend that we go back on something that we've agreed to, but
Right.
moving forward.
Yes, sir, will.
So this is a pump system also,
No, this is gravity
gravity?
through a single pump station.
And what's wrong with us taking over the pump station?
It's not up to public standards.
What's the capacity of it?
This is, capacity's fine. It's not the capacity, it's the lot size and the SCADA and the
What is
three-phase.
capacity? What's the size of the pump station?
I don't recall offhand. I'd have to go back and look at the drawings.
184 lots, so I'm gonna bet it's about
Yeah.
150 to 200 gallons a minute.
That's probably fair.
But the question comes, it's three-phase versus single-phase. Single-phase burns more electricity.
Does, correct.
So what is the difference in that cost? And I think it's, again, I'm trying to read your mind, Ben, but what detriment is it to JWSC if we took that lift station, even though it wasn't standard? It would be the difference in the power bill, it would be access, the SCADA,
No skate, there's no skate on it. It would be the lot size doesn't meet standards, and then obviously the higher power bill on the single phase. We could use three-phase pumps through a VFD, but it is, I'm assuming it's a single-phase service that's coming in.
Do they have a generator there?
No.
No generator.
But what would it cost to add the SCADA?
You can buy a SCADA panel for us for, I think, $27,000. That includes termination, but they would have to hang it.
And how many customers is that in there?
184.
184 customers on a private system, on a system that we own the sewer lines.
No,
We don't own sewer lines.
we just own the water lines.
Right.
We don't own any of it yet, but if this motion passes, we own the water lines.
Everything connects here with, everything on-site collection system wise is the public connection.
Why don't we want to own the sewer lines?
It's up to the way the standards are written, it is up to the discretion of the developer if they want to maintain their systems or not.
Do they
Well,
have
we
maintenance?
know that historically, they don't maintain the system.
I understand
mean,
that.
Nobody's gonna have a problem, probably in the first 10 or 15 years, but there's gonna come a time when these people will be way down the road, they will have sold out. So I thought we were changing those standards.
In this case here, I know that if we had known or they had started the project, that this was going to be a platted subdivision, the individual lots, individual customers, we have 180-plus new customers in here, we would have said it will be a public pump station from the get-go.
Is the same owner all the time?
No, they're selling individual
They're
lots.
selling individuals, yeah. Originally it was.
Same developer.
No,
Oh, different developer, it's changed hands, yes.
it was platted, construction was started on the infrastructure, and then it was sold to a new developer at that point, before they went vertical.
And somebody paid our fees to do the upgrade of the two pumps? The pump station?
The original developer did, yes.
Upgrade those two pumps.
Right. The original developer paid the 8-inch capital fee for the master meter for the water and the sewer, and then there was additional fees due when they went to the 184 single meters above the amount the original master
Oh,
meter
so
fee
he
was.
paid it, but he got it back in tap fees. It went toward his tap fees, what he paid us.
Right, that's correct.
Which was converted from the master meter to, then it was divided up into individual, 180-plus individual capital fees.
Which
It
means
sounds
we're
like
gonna
to
have,
do all this, if we let them finance, I mean, this is not gonna happen to us in the North Mainland where we're paying them tap fees. Or they're not gonna change the plans. We're gonna own the pump stations, are we? On the
Yes.
North Mainland part?
Well, no, we won't own the pump. There'll be one temporary pump station on the North Mainland. All the pump stations in their neighborhood, I don't know if they're gonna be dedicated or not. I assume they are, but that's not part of the agreement.
Yeah, as a platted individual lot residential subdivision, the pump stations will be, our strong preference requirement will be that they'll be public stations, yeah.
but that's not what I just heard.
Yeah, we're letting them people get by with this.
Yeah, I mean, because we're gonna end up like we are now, having to maintain the thing, or there'll be some question, or the service is gonna get substandard, and somebody's gonna have a crisis. Now we've got 184, and again, I'm not saying go back on this one, it was approved, but we got 184 people, the developer is gonna be gone, the 184 people aren't gonna upgrade the lift station. They would see no reason that they should have to participate. Do we have a mechanism by which we can assess their sewer bill without then we're borrowing trouble. I mean, at some point down the road, the sewer lines should be dedicated to us. I know this started out as private, and if it was gonna be behind the gate, that's one thing, if it was gonna stay that way, but we need to know if they're drawing their documents originally, are they drawing their documents so they could convert and sell individually, or are their documents drawn such that it would always be common? And here, I know we changed ownerships, but guys, another recession's coming. Whether it's mild or not, and people are gonna get squeezed out, you're gonna have new people in the game, and they're not gonna wanna abide by the old rule, and if things got dire, we would start making exceptions that we're buying this. That's the reason I had thought that we had said that going forward, and I know this one's an old one, but going forward, we're not gonna accept a substandard station when we're gonna own the water and the sewer.
And we're not owning the water line, is it?
We
We're on the
don't-
water lines, but not the sewer lines, because we're not gonna take the gravity system that goes to a pump station we don't own.
Yeah. But it's gonna be in
But
now
we-
what looks like public right of way.
It is public right away.
And, but
Okay.
we charge them a sewer fee.
Yes.
We'll get sewer.
Every individual owner that's gonna pay the water and sewer bill.
And the sewer bill goes for the treatment and transport through the public water and sewer systems.
Yeah, which is how everybody's based. So,
Except for the pump station.
except for the
Paying
pump
for that.
station that it flows through.
And who's paying for that?
The owner of the development would be.
Be Bergen Woods TH LLC.
After they sell every lot in there,
Right, who's gonna pay the
who's
electric
gonna
of
pay
that?
it then?
The homeowners association?
That would be between the owner and the homeowners association.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then who's gonna maintain the pump station?
they will get a local contractor to maintain it when there's a problem.
They will.
We all see the inherent,
I 100% see the inherent thing.
Yes.
But what I'm going to
Yeah.
say, and I'm going to try to say this as politely as possible,
Nah, sugar, don't you?
if they can save $30,000 or $50,000, they're going to save $50,000.
so,
And then if we try to do anything else, then we're going to be branded as not business friendly, trying to stop development and everything like that.
y'all know how hard I strive for business friendly. But you also don't defer problems. And I guess I'm speaking through my experience. I was never given that option. I was told what it was gonna be, and I didn't have the option of keeping my sewer systems private. I don't know when that came into be, that we did that, but the bottom line is, if they can't put up a perpetual bond that we could draw on, they're not gonna maintain it. They're gonna be gone. And we're gonna have in this case, 184 homeowners saying, the sewer's not working, the pump went out, and we're saying, well, call your developer, and they say, who the heck is that? And
And they've been paying water and sewer costs, the same
they,
water and
I
sewer
mean,
bill everybody else.
if I were the homeowner, the end user, that I've been paying a water and sewer bill to joint water and sewer department, I'd say, you've been collecting the money, you fix it. And so I don't see how we keep giving the option for both directions. And I want to be as user-friendly, builder-friendly as we can be, but
But is that a joint water problem, or is that a county problem? Because wouldn't it be the county that should be telling all these developers, whether or not you go private or public,
county,
it must be done to joint water
county
standards?
doesn't set JWSC standard.
Okay, the station meets JWSC standards for private pump stations. And the construction standards, there is a standard for public pump stations and private pump stations.
That's right.
Pretty sure it's been there for 40 years or more. I think the book that Ransom jokingly calls the Grail has it in there from the 80s.
Does, yeah.
It meets JWSC standards for private pump stations. If we need to change those effective the meeting in January, we can do that.
Well,
There will be
I would-
backlash.
I would say if they're going to make it a private system, they have to sign documentation. You start that way, you end that way. And if developer A decides he wants to sell it to developer B, that's just the caveat that goes with it. If you can't change your horse without changing the entire horse. You can't ride out on the horse's tail. And, you know, you want to make it private? Okay, this is what you got to do to make it private. We got to have this much property, we got to have this SCADA system, we got to have this three-phase fire, and you build it into your cost. If you're converting from what was approved to what you want to do now, would have to apply.
Most, a lot of communities in hillier country, they have pump stations instead of extending the interceptor line down the creek, it's in the back. But when they do that, most communities, if they're forward thinking, they will charge a pretty big upfront fee per month to that developer for that pump station. Because of operation of the pump station, and also so they'll be building up some money to build that interceptor sewer. And this is kind of like that. But I just don't understand why we don't want to own every pump station in the system if we charge them for water and sewer. They're paying the same thing for the people over on St. Simon's that have a pump station that we own. They're paying the same fee. But yet here, who's paying the power cost for that pump station? We're not paying it.
No.
It's a better deal for us as far as, but except for when it fails.
Except for when it fails.
When it fails, we're gonna be caught.
And I get your standard. I heard finally. We got private systems, we got those that are, but if it started private and a buyer of the development to finish it says, I'm gonna make it public, then, okay, you're gonna make it public. You're gonna meet all the standards. I don't see, that's the caveat. And then if an apartment complex is coming in on a master meter on water and a private lift station, okay, it's yours. Again, from your property line back is you, and that's all on you. But otherwise.
Todd, I think we need to update the standards and restrict the definition of a private station to based off of flow in one single parcel. If it serves multiple parcels, it should,
Yep.
we're just gonna have to not allow private pump stations.
And this is.
100% agree. I agree with that. Yeah.
Well, I'm as user-friendly as I get. I've been pushing this for 7 years.
Yeah.
But to me, this is problematic. At some point in time, it's gonna bite on somebody because they changed horses in the middle and we didn't require it. When they made the change, we didn't require the upgrade to comply
Is that
with the
a-
public system.
Is that a detention pond?
That is, yes, sir.
Is it full of water all the time?
I'm sure as deep as it is, yes. It's well within the,
And who owns that?
Same
Bergen
number.
Woods TH LLC.
And they're responsible for maintaining that, I guess.
Yes,
The county.
The county would not maintain that, they would, yes.
And I assume
Part of the
that
stormwater design.
That's correct.
I assume that they're gonna do a HOA, but
I would assume, yes, they would likely have an HOA out there.
we've got leftover subdivisions picked up that
Right.
the HOA was left in no man's land. Guess what
Yes,
happened?
sir.
Nobody's paying.
Yeah.
When it transitioned from one ownership to another ownership, it's just left out there. So,
One additional thing that joint water does is, it's called a satellite agreement. So if there's any privately owned and operated assets, like a pump station like this, as part of the closeout documentation, we require the satellite agreement to be executed. And they declare who the owner is, all this and that, but as we know, that can change as soon as before the ink's dry, that can change. So, and there's nothing, and we record that, but there's nothing that tracks that. So it's maybe a false sense of security, but about the best thing we can do, the way things are now, to figure out, okay, who's saying they're gonna own and
get to our
operate.
retreat.
Hmm.
Yeah.
This needs to be a topic, I think.
Yeah.
But I like what Andrew said.
Yes, sir.
Look, we can do that we probably can't do that at the January meeting because we'll have to go through, I believe, a public comment period on that to change the standards, but we can get the process started.
Now, tell me what's the difference on this pump station and if it was built to our standards?
Parcel, I think this is a 30 by 30 square lot.
Parcel
Ours
size is supposed to be 50 by 50.
50.
Our standards require three-phase power, and it has to have, the three typical things are three-phase power, 50 by 50 parcel size, and SCADA.
Yeah, and clear access.
And clear access, yeah. Because we need access to get a VATCON in there.
Where's the pump station?
It's out here by the road.
So you mean we're not gonna send the VATCON in there if they have problems?
If we can't get there, we won't. But if we can.
Yeah, pump station's out here. Gravity's all the way out there. Top of a jumper station. That might be shorter than 4,000.
Well, it goes into a straight force main though, not gravity.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's
That's
got a
true.
long force main.
That's true.
It just connects.
manifolded,
You
yeah.
manifolded, yeah.
So that's a jumper pump station.
It's a very short manifold, right?
I don't know what the cost, if it's to bring three-phase power in there, because I'm pretty certain three-phase power is right there on the side of
It's
Golden
right there, yeah.
Golden Knolls Parkway.
What size is the pump station, Todd?
It's 5 or, I'm not sure,
That's
it's less
small.
than 10 horsepower, it's.
It's 5-7 horsepower station.
It's 100 gallons a minute?
184 houses typically works out to about 185 gallons a minute.
Yeah, that's, yeah,
Usually about a gallon a minute a house.
that's about rough rule of thumb, good.
Not always, but
Put a screw pump there.
now we're gonna need 70 by 70.
But it's not designed to pick up any future
No,
development.
it's not designed
It
for
is
anything
not.
but this
Designed for
internal.
that.
That's correct. And Bergen's built out, will be built out. They're going vertical all the way around now, so, yeah. Yep. Yeah, it was originally one single customer when it was one parcel. Wasn't as much of a problem then.
Now, are they building those things now? They building?
Oh, they're yes, sir, yes, sir.
Almost.
Yeah, they're almost built out.
Yeah.
They originally broke it into 2 phases, right? But they have long since broken ground on the second phase.
Yes, I think staff directed them, they weren't gonna allow them to phase it, they were gonna build out completely. They were gonna have to go back, planning commission, I'm not sure what it was, but there was some,
There may be amend how we accept this to talk about the pump station.
What do you mean?
Because all we're accepting is just the water.
Is that what it says, or we're just accepting the water?
Mm-hmm.
Not the sewer lines?
Nope, just says the water sewer easement.
yeah,
Doesn't say anything about the sewer line.
yeah.
So the water and sewer easement, so we're accepting the easements that their sewer lines are.
We call every easement we get generically water and sewer. So
Where are the sewers, in the streets?
sewers, most, yes, sir. Most, I think we got most of it, yeah.
Do the easements meet our standards?
So what they did is, and typically in a place like this, they will take the
The right of way?
private right of way, correct. And these are private right of ways. The private right of way,
Oh, there's the private roads too.
private roads, yes, sir, private roads.
Is it gated?
I don't think it's gated out there.
I don't know.
It may be now, but it wasn't at one point.
Yeah, I don't,
Is it 40-foot right of ways, you say?
40, I can tell. It should be on the record draw as well, but let's give this little guy here. See what he says. 40 foot right of ways.
See, but that shouldn't be, I know county will accept that in some instances, but 40-foot right of ways. It's not standard either. It's fine for apartment complex.
Are these single-family townhomes?
They are.
Are they attached?
Yes.
They're attached in buildings, yes, sir.
Yeah.
6 units or 8
So-
units.
And they're all built out though? They don't have,
They're not all built out, but they're fixing to be all built out.
They're, right, they're all on the interstate.
they're not gonna have any stragglers that are gonna come back to haunt us or something in the future?
I'm sorry, the what?
They don't have,
I think all the meters are set.
Meters are set, yeah, yeah.
So they're intended to build all of them, because I think we've set all 184 meters out there.
we set the meters?
We set all meters.
So we got water taps, but then we got sewer tap?
Hmm?
How do we get sewer tap for that?
What do you mean?
What's the size of the sewer tap? Is it that number of people?
It's per house.
So they did some sewer modification then because they probably were doing per building when it was private.
Yeah. Yes, that's correct.
So they got a sewer tap that they paid for, but yet it's not our sewer.
It is our sewer. The sewer flows through a public sewer system.
Yeah. But the pipe's not ours.
Pipe is not ours. That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The public sewer system has the pipes in it, right? Missing something.
My recommendation is we not have this conversation anymore until after this meeting.
I knew this would be a fun one when I made it on the agenda.
I didn't anticipate it.
Do we have another one?
We hadn't even got started yet.
No, sir. Yes, sir. One more. All right, so we'll jump back here to the agenda or the memo, and we're going to round out here with the lakes at North Glen. Another residential development. It's the first phase, a little over 3,000 linear feet of 8-inch PVC water main, fire hydrants, et cetera. and also complementary sanitary sewer within the roadways. This is gravity sewer. About 35 linear feet of that. I'll show you, it's easier to see on GIS. Lakes, Heritage Boulevard, just east of Carriage Gate, just west of Shell Point. And that is that.
Where's 4110 pump station? Is it 4110 is up there?
The
4110
canal,
by
just-
North Glen Park.
Yeah.
And then in that curve?
Yes. It's right there.
Okay. And where we at?
So we're just east of the canal, you know, Heritage Boulevard, like you're going to 17.
Is that gonna be on a Mycene well or?
Mycene Well is,
that area?
the
Golden
closest.
Well, Golden Isles 1 is right there, but that area is also served by the Canal Road well and Golden Isles 2.
Hey, what do we get here?
Right. Yep, so this is the infrastructure associated with Lakes Phase 1.
Is there the sanitary sewer that's listed here, is that the force main or? Because it
It-
says 6-inch.
Where'd it say 6-inch at? Let's see here. Yeah, we missed our diameter on there. Yeah, it's the force main.
So they have a pump station on this one?
The Lakes does have a pump,
So does this not include the pump station?
doesn't include the pump station. What, the fun topic we were just talking about. Look for the record drawings here. Here we go.
So, Todd, does that mean that this is substandard pump station as well?
Yes. Well, meets standards, meets private standards,
Well, yeah. But
sub-public standards,
public dedication.
correct.
So we're taking the force main in the right of way and
Just
the water
portion in
system.
the right of way.
Is this road gated?
I don't think so. I was just by there yesterday.
Out here?
With the gravity sewers?
Gravity sewer to a pump station and force main out. Yes, sir.
All these houses, gravity back
Yep.
this way.
That's correct.
And then pump it.
In the water system, they have to show us flow test on the water system, don't they, with hydrants?
They do modeling, yes, sir.
They what?
They do some modeling.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We do generally hydrant testing to give them a point of connection conditions, and they'll model it from there.
Is that upgraded in our water model after we do this?
No, sir, not, the infrastructure will be added to our base map, but we don't do anything as a result of their modeling to ours.
When we update the water model, it will include it at that point.
It'll include this infrastructure, correct? When it,
Something like that, is there any possibility there might be some future connections up above it? That'd be coming in, is that? with
This is
time?
multiple phases. There will be future connections up above.
correct.
And would it eventually tie into 17 or 99?
No.
We're, you know, when we're looking at stuff, Chairman, that's a fantastic point you're making in question. We really try to encourage applicants to connect to adjacent parcels, or we're always looking for looping. 17 being a good possibility with what's planned still currently with the extension up and down 17. But one thing in the standards that we did, Commission, y'all did approve in the updated standards, 2024 standards, was they have to provide for a connection point. In other words, there has to be either an easement or a right-of-way that goes to the property line that makes it easier for us to pick up and run with an adjacent project. So we're not cut off by a lot or
They
something like
have
that.
that here.
They do, right. So anything that's, as they run to next future phases, up in here, surely there's a lot of property up in here.
But it's a good ways up to.
It's a long way to
ways.
17 from there, yes, sir.
And,
It is a good ways.
It doesn't get back to 17 very easily.
Yeah.
without
How far is
wetlands
it from
involved,
90,
and
how
then
far is it from 99?
Longer than 17.
It's a long way. I mean, and then you got Petersville Road that
Yeah.
comes back into the back of it there. And, it might would one day, somebody may buy property out there to develop, I don't know, but.
That would be a great route. That would, even trying to figure out how, because Shell Point, because I think we're talking about Shell Point here about some maybe water quality issues. How can we get them to connect into Shell Point and help with water movement through the system and whatnot? Sometimes there's a barrier. In this case, there's a lot of wetlands in here, and sometimes it's applicant's not quite willing to run a couple thousand extra feet of water line to loop it. But-
We just do a small study on that whole area as to how we might want to have those lines in the future? Because that
It's-
seems to be where everything's coming.
Right. Yeah, that would certainly be when we can get our model updated. That would be one of the biggest intents of that North Mainland area.
Because we're talking about another well up there and everything else too.
I know with, there's property on 99 that's at the corner of Petersville, that I don't know how big that track is coming into that area, but there's a track up there that I have seen for sale.
Yes, sir. Sure is.
And you take Lexington Place, the north side of it backs into the tail end of what was that Bucky's track, that whole
That's right.
track, and there wasn't any provision to go out that side of Lexington Place to connect. But water and sewer goes up the canal?
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
You're just going up the canal, right?
Well, gravity sewer from about Native Lane, that's where we're gonna come down with the force main as part of that TAMA project. And it drains down to 4119. Now, the rest of it, there is force main and water main all the way up and down the canal.
Which way does the canal flow?
Depends which way the tide's going, I guess.
Let's say, both directions.
Yeah.
It can't make its mind up.
When it was dug to carry goods to Darien, not from. Honest to goodness.
Well, we got an outfall cut into it, maybe.
It's a really neat feature in Glynn County. It would be really cool one day if somehow it can be made into a canoe trail or
Kayak.
something. Yeah, kayak trail. Fantastic.
I think it's been blocked in too many places over time, but
Man.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, Commissioners, thank you. That's the 3 items there, and there is a motion there that includes all 3 items.
Now, we don't need to put language in here that we're accepting only the force main.
No, it's included in the dedication documents include that language.
well, there's stuff with it I'm not happy about, but I don't know any way to change, so I move that the Facilities Committee recommend to the full commission approve and accept the request to accept the infrastructure easements and with the associated documentation.
I'll second.
Motion second. Any more questions? All in favor? Raise your right hand. Motion carries 3-0. Let's do have a workshop or something maybe at the retreat. What's next? The flows, the water system.
Water production report, sir. For the month of November, obviously, the tourists have left, not completely left, but a lot left after the Georgia-Florida weekend. Flow was down to 8.1, or just shy of 8.2 million gallons for the day across all three of our systems. Now, you do see on the water bill column, you see the system growing as new customers come online, so 31,556 water bills for the month. For Brunswick, for the month, 5.3 million gallons, almost exactly where we were the previous month. So good to see that system holding steady. You do see that, as we talked about last month, that we approved a motor and pump replacement of the I-95 well, so that well did not run for the month of November. Excuse me. So the new Canal Road well has picked up a great deal of that slack, as you see those last couple of months, pumping 55 million gallons over the previous 2 months. So good to have that online for us. But lower water usage on the mainland than we do on the island, and then of course less tourism on the mainland and the island, so there's less swings seasonally with that. For St. Simons for the month, 2.5 million gallons, pretty good drop from where we were previously, about 370,000 gallons a day less than where we were in the month of October. But similar to where we were, a little bit higher than where we were this time last year for the month. That system, obviously more water use is still on the south end, but all four wells doing very well over at St. Simons. You see the more seasonal variations on St. Simons, both from increased tourism on the island and also the month of August. You see that major dip there when it was raining so much, nowhere near as much outdoor water usage last year. And then exit 29, very consistent water usage down there, about 350,000 gallons a day between the two wells. The exit 29 well is under construction, so there will not be usage from that well until completion of that project. But a pretty standard month for our water system overall. Flows are a little bit higher, but nothing significant that we would see from the well site, so everything seems to be trucking along pretty well.
Let's go back to the first sheet that says unaccounted for water.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain that to us?
The produced number on the far left is the flow meter, finished water meter readings from the well sites added together for the month.
Well,
The-
for all the websites,
For all the
whole
wells,
system.
whole system, all three systems. The metered number is the metered flow through the AMI system, and then the unaccounted for is simply the difference between those two numbers.
So our average is 10.8%.
Yes, sir.
Now, do we do that for the mainland and St. Simons Island separately too?
We do not have those numbers because we've got to get a process together for adding those to the right filter for that, so that we can pull that back out. We did have that set up and I was pulling that, but then as new customers come on and if they don't get assigned to one, then it would go to Brunswick instead of St. Simons or South Mainland. And so that can throw the numbers off on the two smaller systems at that point pretty significantly, particularly if it's like an apartment complex or something like that came online.
So we don't know if a customer's on which system.
No, we do know what they're on. The way the AMI readings are pulled out for this report, you have to pull filters and create the filters and assign them to the right thing. And every new meter would need to be assigned to the correct system
A filter, you gotta pull a filter.
to get the data out of the system. So basically, we have 31,556 bills. I have to filter out, these come from St. Simons, these come from the South Mainland, and these come from Brunswick. When the new meter is set, if that's not assigned to that filter correctly, then it's not gonna pull in the right filter. I can't just go in a loop and circle it, it's all one
When we
system.
put them in, when David Ellis put them in, they were assigned to 3 different sections, wasn't they?
No. No. We got a meter number and it was assigned to the account, but they didn't assign anything to a different section.
But we knew before, didn't we?
No.
So we've never known the meters.
We know where the meters are at. We don't have the data broken.
Good for us to go through that.
It would, yes, sir. And we've got a lot of them done, but we don't have the process fully instituted yet where that gets added for all new meters.
You know
And
what
we
we're
got-
talking about, LaDonna?
Yes, sir.
How long would that take?
What, I think what Mr. Brooks is trying to describe is just like when we try to keep up with the vacant accounts, those change every month. So we have to reassign those to the group within the Neptune 360 data, and that's a manual process. So when he's pulling his filters, it's a manual process for him to do that every month. And if those meters that were set during that month weren't assigned to the appropriate water system, he doesn't have those in his filter, so he'll have to manually add those
Who's he?
once he's pulling that
Me,
filter.
I'm the one that pulls this data.
So you do this.
Yes.
Why are you doing?
Why can't this be done automatically within the system? Seems like it
It's
could.
a reporting function. The report function allows you to set up groups within Neptune 360.
So why don't we have
Set
three,
up those
well, we ought to have
groups.
3 groups then.
We do have 3 groups, but if we set 150 meters that month and they don't get assigned to the right ones that month, then the data will be wrong for that month. So we've got to go back and make sure they're all assigned to the right one and get them start the meters when they're set to start being included in the right one. And then if the meter gets moved anywhere, we got to change it.
Well, see, we always need to be evaluating our water systems to see which one we need to work on.
I understand, yes, sir.
We might have a 2% on the North Mainland and a 15%.
We won't have it by, we will not have it by North Mainland, or it'll be the full mainland, St. Simons and South Mainland. Brunswick and the North Mainland are one combined system. We have no way to separate
Yeah,
them out.
well, that's fine. But at least we'd have those and we could compare with the wells there. And then we'd know where we got problems.
Yes, sir. Noted.
Can you give us a report next month about what we can do?
Yes, sir. You'll have that report next month. That won't be a problem.
And what's the percent of AMI? So some people still aren't on AMI?
Some people, the ratings don't come across. There was one neighborhood that never got changed over because they were in the closets. Those have now been taken out. So some of that,
They were in the closets.
they're inside closets, inside the condos.
Oh, okay. So they were really in the closet.
Absolutely in the closet, yes. You have to literally, you would have to literally go inside the people's residence to change the meter out.
Individual houses?
Individual condos. They were in maintenance closets inside the property.
Do we own the water lines in that development?
We don't anymore. We invested in a master meter for them.
Okay. So we can determine the unaccounted for water within their system. How many of those master meters do we got? Something like that.
20 or 30, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. The sewage is a lot easier, isn't it?
Sir?
Sewage is easier, isn't it?
I don't know if it's easier. On the sewer side, it was exceedingly dry again for the month of November. The drought continues. So our flows reflect that. 5.9 million gallons a day at Academy Creek for the month. Everything other than the ammonia was in line. The ammonia went back up for the month of November. We took aeration basin 1 offline to de-grit it. So if you go by there, the mixers are off that basin. You'll see people on top of the basin spraying the grit out. We took a clarifier offline and we're pumping the grit into the clarifier. This is the third basin that we've done, the final basin we need to do, and then we'll start taking 1 down annually, and hopefully it'll go quicker because there'll be less grit that has accumulated in the basin as a result. You'll note one item there where it says TRC, it says 0. That's because the UV system's online. TRC is total residual chlorine, and so we're not using chlorine at the facility anymore. So the UV system is online and has functioned very well. 98% BOD and TSS removal for the month at Academy Creek. And hopefully getting the ammonia numbers seem to be dropping from last month going into this month. So hopeful moving forward, those numbers continue to get in the right direction. We did get one decent-sized rain event at the beginning of December, but it has been so dry that really didn't increase the flows any because all of it, not all of it, but the bulk of it was absorbed into the ground because of how dry it's been. St. Simons for the month, 2.5 million gallons a day, which equals our lowest month for the previous 2 years. But as you would expect, the plant handles very well when there's less flow going through it. 98% BOD and TSS removal at Dunbar Creek. Only 0.4 of an inch of rain for the month, which occurred on one day on St. Simons Island. So we had 1 day of rain there. And then you see the flow is much lower than it was this time last year. If you recall, last year between the hurricane, what was it, Debbie, that came through first, the flows were exceedingly elevated for 2 months last year. We have not had that, so the tail on that has not been an issue. And Southport right at 500,000 gallons a day down there for the month. Plant doing very effectively, again, very similar numbers, what you saw across the board. Again, if you look at the far right column, no sludge leaving the plant for the last 2 months. We cleaned that digester out completely and emptied it and degridded that digester. So we have been filling it up, and we have not needed to move sludge out of the digester, so we have not done so.
Andrew, what capacity, where you say it's handling 500,000? What's its capacity?
1.5.
1.5.
1.5. So we could triple the flow down there.
We're 33%.
Yeah.
That's 10,000 houses. Good capacity.
10,000 additional houses, right?
For capacity.
As far as capacity reasons, yes.
1.5.
Well, the extra million's 10,000 houses.
The extra million is
It's
10,000
10,000 houses.
additional houses.
10,000, well, housing equivalents,
Yeah, there you go.
yes.
So we know which houses, the developments, which one are tying into certain areas where everything's growing.
Yes,
Do we look at the pump stations and make sure that we?
for every development that comes in, yes, sir.
Because we used to have red, yellow, and green for pump stations or something like that.
We still have that, but we keep up with it and we stay ahead of these things now.
And so if something's red, do we make the developer help pay for that?
Depends on the situation. If they're gonna build 100 houses and we just gotta do pumps, sometimes we'll handle that and take the tap fees and pay for that. If it's a major upgrade, we ask the developer to do it at that point.
All right, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, this is the capital picture report. Was excited to showcase the project sewer extension. That project is the pipes and whatnot are pretty much in the ground. Final testing, everything is being accomplished there, and this is a pressure system in the commercial district or commercial area neighborhood of.
On that pressure system, how are we gonna locate the lines? How do we know where they are?
So during construction, we're very careful to be a little proactive on our with our team here. We're going out and we're
The
GPSing.
main force main going down the street, what size is it?
The biggest is 3-inch, the largest is 3-inch, 3-inch down to 2-inch. So there's tracer wire for after construction. We can go locate with tracer wire. But during construction, we're being very careful to take GPS shots, survey grade GPS shots along the
So
way.
they're not putting tracer wire in with the pipe when they put it in now?
Yes, we are. Yes, sir. When they're drilling most of this, when they pull it back with the tracer wire. Yeah. You can see, matter of
How
fact.
deep is this line compared to our water lines?
It's
About the same depth.
Yeah, it's about the same
About the
depth.
same depth.
Right.
Why are we
But not
doing
in the
that?
same trench.
No,
Not the
different
same
sides of the
trench.
street typically.
Correct.
Why
10
are we
feet
doing
minimum.
that?
Sir?
Why are we doing it the same depth?
Well, just 3 foot of cover.
3 foot of cover.
Yeah, but then you have some conflicts.
That's why we put one on one side and one on the other side.
But they do
Yeah,
I
but
guess.
somebody's on the other side too, though.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tied in.
Yeah. So,
We don't wanna have the same problem that our fiber friend did.
right. So the fiber, we're actually, believe it or not, a little bit deeper than what typical fiber goes in. They're generally a little bit shallower, but they do still manage to find our assets, unfortunately, sometimes. But right-of-ways are getting more and more crowded. So one of the reasons for the force mains, but now we're stubbing out services along the way, but one of the reasons to keep your force mains shallow too is for accessibility, for future connections and whatnot. But yeah, so excited to say we've got one interested party, actually a review for, it's a warehouse going in off Habersham. It's under construction. They originally designed and planned it with an on-site septic system, drain field, et cetera. Now that we've got nice brand-new pressure main run right by their front door, they have changed gears. Now they submitted plans to now connect in. So we get to add water and sewer capital fees to their account now and get them on board. So, already got our first.
Maybe a good move.
Yes, sir. Already got our first commercial customer tied on and several others very interested. So I'd say that project's been going very smoothly. Happy with it to date. There's a good picture of a typical air release valve that's going in, stainless steel assembly, part of our specs and everything. Next project, Canal Road Water Production Facility. So we really.
How's that air release valve work?
I'm sorry?
How's that air release valve work?
So you have single acting or double acting. It purges the air that accumulates in
It's
the.
on the force mains,
Yes, yes,
on the pressure mains?
it is. So I'm looking to see, I don't think we have any in the pictures here.
Filter in there to keep from odors?
They don't have a carbon filter, but you certainly can put carbon filter on there.
Are these gonna be in the manhole?
No, sir. These are pedestal types, and I can show you something really cool real quick here. Oops, if I can figure out how to bring up another new tab, maybe.
The pressure system, I didn't know where to install them.
Let's see. Let's see if I can show you something here. So there is BMW.
Everything's tying into the sewer on Habersham, that pump station.
You must be focusing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to show you a picture of one of our, one of the pedestals here, where I know at least one of them is sitting. If I can find that guy, he's up and down the road here somewhere. What was the question?
The air release valve, what does it look like?
Okay, so you may not even notice it, which is probably what my
That's
problem
not-
is right
that's
now.
Like community
There it
road.
is. Here's one right here.
Community road to me.
Do you see? So this is Old Cypress Mill Road. This is part of our
Okay.
4056
Okay.
force main upgrade
Is
project.
that green box?
That green box, yes, sir. So there's two ways to do air release valves. You can do them down in a shallow manhole,
Yeah, yeah.
gets covered up, everybody forgets
Okay.
about it, and they never get
Yeah, I've seen
maintained.
those. Okay.
You can do them in these pedestals, and it's super easy too with the,
And what's the thing that's in that, is it the, go back to the picture of the thing, is the circular thing
yes, sir.
in the bottom, is the pipe with the cutoff valve, what's in the green box?
Right, right. So this is, it's kind of laying on its side right here. This is the top.
So that's in the green box,
That's in the green box.
and the rest is below the green box.
Yes,
It ties to the line, to the force main.
exactly. This is just service tubing. This will couple into the service tubing right here.
But do we have some of those on the pressure lines in Community Road?
We do. Air release valves, yes, sir.
They're smaller than that, didn't they?
That's pretty typical size anymore. Your air will purge out as your exhaust valve. You have a quick connect, cam lock fitting. You can
Okay.
attach about any kind of thing you want to on the end there. We've, Glynn County worked with us a lot to allow these in the right of way. I think they're pretty, I think they like them. We like them too.
When's that project gonna be finished?
I would say first quarter 2026 it's going to be finished. We're getting real close. Construction, there's the one last thing to do is tie in to the receiving manhole, get that guy coated, put the drop in or a drop pipe in there. I would say first quarter 2026.
Is Brunswick Villas through?
Yes.
Yes.
So we don't see pictures on it anymore.
No.
And Arco's through too.
Yes, we're getting the last round of record drawings. Should be final record drawings.
So what's our next one we're gonna put
That section over there by Whitlock, we approved the survey contract on a couple months ago.
That's a small area.
That's a small area, but that'll be the next one we do.
Yeah, just wait on survey to come in, and we'll jump on that one. We're gonna do that in-house. Okay, Canal Road Water Production Facility, another project, fantastic project, essentially complete. Very final punch list items, I believe, are complete at this point. January meeting, we should have a final adjusting change order payout for that one too, to close it out. Hopefully with the deductions, which I believe should be a deductive change order. Dunbar Creek Water Pollution Control Facility rehab.
Yes, we started up the alum and lime feed system today. There's not chemical on site. We used water to test the pumps today, but those were started up today. The line's been tied into 3 locations for potential dosing, and pumps started up fine today. So we still got some permitting stuff we're doing, but other than that, the project is complete. Minor punch list items on the chemical feed system were noted today.
Did you fix the thing on the clarifier, the new clarifier?
Those are fixed, yes, sir.
All right. Academy Creek, RAS and UV upgrades.
Academy Creek, this project is now substantially complete. All the RAS pumps are working. UV system has been signed off on by Trojan, who's the manufacturer. We are working through a punch list with them. The most significant items remaining are paving and concrete. It has to be poured around the plant, but they should be finishing up. I was hopeful by the end of the year, but probably closer at this point since it hasn't been done yet, probably into January at this point before they're wrapping that up out there. But they are, moving materials, demobbing from the site. They've just got very few limited people working on the punch list items in town now.
Andrew, explain to the board what the thing is we're getting proposals for right now at Academy in this picture.
So right there in that bottom picture, there's 6 clarifiers in the back. Zoom in, Todd.
Yep.
Right there.
You want me to go to?
No, that's fine. Zoom in right there.
Okay.
They're all the same size.
They're all the same size. So one of those is offline. You see the picture there. The one on clarifier number 1 at the top left is offline. And so the next project we're doing there is to replace all the internals on the clarifier. So new weirs, new launders, new mechanisms, scraper arms, all of that on the inside, recoat the concrete in there. Currently, the problem is the weirs are at different elevations due to failures of the structural of the weirs over the years, and so things are short-circuiting and we can't get the clarifiers balanced. So we'll be redoing basically we'll reuse the catwalks and the density baffles and feed wells we put in as part of the 2020 project, but the rest of it will be new except for the concrete, which will recoat the concrete as a portion of this. And the splitter boxes out in front of each pair of clarifiers, those gates will be actuated so that we don't have to work, if we have to open one up very quickly or something like that, we're not out there cranking on that in a rain event. We can just do it electronically.
Okay.
Very good. Next project is down at exit 29. This is our water production facility. It's 3 different phases or divisions of it. First one is the production facility, which is the well improvements. Very similar to what we did at Canal Road. So you can see the building itself going in, all the plumbing, foundation, floor slab, all that's good. Now we're coming up with the block. It's looking like a building now. Ground storage tanks in place. You can see the fairly new, I guess they're about maybe going on 2 years old now, luxury townhomes in the background. And this is right in the entrance of Southport plant, X29. Okay, the next one is Division 2, is our, exit 42. We're gonna switch these around so I can roll right from Division 1, 2, and 3. This is exit 42 elevated storage tank. This is, you can look in the background, you can see a billboard for our Buc-ee's there at exit 42 in the background. I-95, you can see the tank coming out. They've already got the second lift of concrete formed up now. Center crane. Pretty neat operation to see going down here in the front. It's sitting at the base of the shell, basically, the base of the bolt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so it's,
So the top of the bowl will be about where the top of the crane might be.
a
Not quite.
little bit below there, right, but it's, that crane's a little bit taller than the overall height of the tank will be, but it's very close.
And this type of tank, that's the form for the first part of the
Yes,
building.
correct. You can see these forms, those inner and outer form that they sandwich together, with spatial rise, and then, place the concrete in that annular space in between. Do that lift, and they pull the forms, move them up to the next lift, and do it all over again until they're done. And every lift is tied together with rebar. So they're doing, if everything progressed like they would like, they could get a lift done every other day, but it's pretty, it's not moving at that speed. There's a good shot of reinforcement.
Todd, how do they get lift done every other day if it takes 28 days to cure concrete?
Yeah, well, if you got a problem if your cylinders don't break right, yeah, you are taking some stuff down. Yeah, you definitely wouldn't load it.
So they put all that scaffolding inside the tank as they're building it.
Yes. That's all temporary. Okay, so this one here is exit 29. Now we are talking about exit 29's Division 2. Landmark's a little bit further ahead. Got their fifth lift, I believe it is, formed up. And that's making some minor adjustments to the forms, making sure they got everything plumb and square. A lot of attention devoted to that. There's a good aerial view of it, interstate in the background. And again, you can see the center crane. And just waiting on the updated logo from Glynn County. That's going to be a southbound facing logo, so all of our visitors and travelers headed northbound can see a good welcome to Glynn County as they cross the Little Satilla River to the beautiful Golden Isles. All right, exit 29, Division 3. This is Water Loops Connections. A lot of work on this was done this week, and these are the looping connections to improve water circulation down there. Also additional benefit from our elevated tank that's going in and the production facility. Help that water get out and about in the neighborhoods and the system. These are obviously existing residential neighborhoods, so a lot of attention put into doing things as least disruptive as possible.
Who's the contractor on that?
Reeves Young's doing the loops.
Okay.
Yeah, may see some familiar faces in here from Reeves Young, other projects. Smoke and dye testing, it's ongoing. And a couple examples of what a typical smoke vent looks like. They'll go and they'll mark those and they'll come back and GPS those and locate those on the map.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are up in yards, sometimes up against the houses and whatnot even, and we'll often have curious homeowners or other folks come out, and that's a good thing. You can let them know, hey, there's an issue. And a lot of them are more than happy to go ahead and take care of that. You can see the equipment that's used. That's a fan. It's just a simple little motor, gas engine, pull cord style, like a lawnmower. And it sits down, seals itself on top of the manhole. You pull the lid off first, seats itself down on the frame. They drop and actually we call it smoke, but it's vapor. It's not really a smoke, it's a vapor. Something else cool, I don't know, you can kind of see it right here. It's a magnetic lifting device they use to lift the cover off the manhole. Save your back.
Those are really helpful on those 36-inch manhole covers.
Are they just doing it in Brunswick right now? We're doing it in both.
They've done a lot of the South, not all of the South Mainland, but they've done a lot of the South Mainland. They're waiting on school to get out to do the last section of the South Mainland. And they've basically been working southward from the North Mainland on Brunswick, other than the Fletsy area and the Port area.
That's right.
And then after the first of the year, they'll jump to St. Simons. floods in the port have access issues they have to go through to get out there.
And they give us a report every week is what they've done.
We have a live dashboard.
Yeah, it's
So
fun.
as of last week, we had done 200 and, hang on, where's the number? Hang on, I just had it. 212,000 linear feet of testing, and we found 453 public defects so far. Most of those are minor. We have found two what they've deemed critical defects. That was a manhole cover that was completely missing and a storm sewer cross connection into our lines. Both of those were immediately corrected once we found out about them. And we're going through, we've knocked off, it's not a huge number. We've knocked off 20 or 30 of the defects they found thus far, but our construction crews are going through the ones at the South Mainland right now. And we'll be sending letters to the private defect sides that we have found as well.
Plus, they're throwing on caps as they go too.
They are, yeah, they have replaced about, I think, 40 or 50 clean-out caps thus far.
Yep.
Who's overseeing this project?
Jason?
Jason, this is a capital project, Jason.
Is this something we might want to do in the future?
We
We
can
have-
do
we have-
smoke, we can do smoke testing in-house. It would take us years to do 1 million feet of pipe though, because we can't focus on it to that intent.
But do we have the machines to do some?
Yes, we do some small smoke testing in-house, but something of this scale would be very challenging.
Last one I saw, I know that I witnessed was Ogden Road, Ogden Lane. We did that one. That was, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's fun at the meetings. We got the dashboard pulled up and you can see the numbers changing as we're sitting there. As the guys out in the field, it's real time and they're updating. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. A lot of visibility for folks to see on that.
Show us that dashboard. Can you pull it up right now?
Is there a link on our website? Yeah.
It's actually on the desktop.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll save it for the last meeting.
cool. I wouldn't have to look at my email then.
Did we see it in the last one?
Smoke testing?
I think we did, but it won't hurt to look again.
Oh.
It's already on there. It's already on there. That's it. Just hit sign in at the bottom.
Check it out.
But they've not started on St. Simon's yet.
They haven't started on St. Simon's yet. So like I said, you see the red lines on St. Simon's that where there's not as much red here. The lines in red are yet to be completed. So you got Fletsy up there at the north end and then the south end of Brunswick, they're still trying to do. Then the area around the elementary and middle school at exit 29, and then still got to do the St. Simon's.
So what would you expect they're through on the mainland?
I'm sorry?
How much you think they're through on the mainland then? That's,
They're probably 80% through on the mainland.
yeah.
Now, they're still going to go back, identify where they recommend doing the dye water tracing and flooding and things like that, but the smoke testing. So you see there, he's got 2 critical defects listed. Those have both been corrected. 34 clean-out caps have been replaced so far. Plus the ones that our crews have fixed that have been broken, clean-outs and things like that. Smoke testing is a very cost-effective way to find defects.
It shows up.
Especially if it's dry.
If it's dry, we're doing it at a very good time, as dry as it's been. Conversely, it has been dry, so we can't tell if it's the stuff we fixed yet, what kind of difference it's made.
One of the strangest one we've seen is coming out of a meter box.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah, so there was a picture in there of smoke coming out of a meter box, so why do we think there might be smoke coming out of a water meter box?
Gotta be running through the.
The sewer line does not run through the water meter box, I can assure you.
The sewer line's a conduit.
it's,
Sewer line, I guess, going into
Nope.
the house.
There is a conduit,
there's a conduit.
went through the sewer line and through the meter box. That may have
It's
been
probably
installed.
orange.
Probably orange
Yeah.
conduit that has been installed in the last few years, if I had to guess.
Fair chance. All right. Oops. Where is it?
How many customers do we have now, water customers and sewer customers, compared to what we had January of this year?
Hang on, I actually sent
All right,
somebody
Dave,
those
I'm gonna
numbers
let
the
you
other
find
day.
it. Where is it?
All right, January, we began 2024 with 30,120 water customers, and in January 2024, and at the end of November, we were at 31,500 or so, 31,600.
24, 25.
In '24, we started at 30,120, so we added 715 new water accounts in '24. And year-to-date, we've added 700 new water accounts in '25. We added 1,415 new water accounts in the last 2 years. Sewer side, we started with 25,436 in January 1 of '24. We added 612 sewer customers in '24, and we've added 517 sewer customers in '25. The difference in those is not, when I say
So
they're
how many
water only, a
sewer
lot of
cus-
those irrigation
How many
accounts.
sewer customers do we have now?
We've added 1,129, which puts us at, hang on. I ain't getting enough sleep last night. I can't do that in my head right now. At the end of November, we had 26,565 sewer customers.
So, my question's got nothing to do with us, but it's, if it's 600 customers last year, 500 customers this year plus, and there's 3,000 plus units being built, does that mean that a lot of the stuff that's being built is not being occupied?
Those are things that are being platted, but they haven't pulled meters yet.
But we've been doing the building for years now. I mean, several years, you know, back when I.
Well, some of that also, now, those accounts, if it's a master meter for 400 units, that would be one account.
Right, and I get that, but, how many of those customers do we have? And not a ton.
No, so we got a couple
Most of the
dozen.
townhouses, like on the, Spur extension out there, all those townhouses.
Those are individually
individual-
metered, yes.
Individual metered. And back when I was real active building, you know, 500 a year was about average building permits pulled for Glynn County. If we're not but at 600 to 700 now, again, the string doesn't come together. I'm just sitting here, you know, we're building thousands of units and hundreds of customers, you know.
Well, I think that number, and you're correct, that 3,000 to 5,000 units have been talked about along, especially on Highway 99. A lot of those are platted but not constructed yet.
And not online yet.
Not online yet.
But you look at a lot of places that, especially out the Spur extension, there's been a ton of townhouse, you know, the Southport townhouses.
Yep.
Out there, you know, a bunch of them. And, you know, it's just interesting numbers to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not saying your numbers are wrong by any means. I'm just trying to put a little string together.
We're adding,
I know pre-crash in '08, you know, North Camden, South Glen developed somewhere in the neighborhood of 10,000 buildable lots when we averaged building permits at about 500 a year. You know, it just, my math says 20-year supply. So.
we're growing about 2 to 2.5% annually right now on customer base. Which, I mean, that's solid if we can keep that up.
That's solid, and population now is teetering at 90.
Getting
if it
close to
hadn't
90,
toppled.
right, yeah.
And so, just trying to.
Yeah,
pull this
it is the question I keep asking our water guys is are the meter sets slowing down? And the response I get is they seem to slow down for a couple weeks and then somebody will call for 50 at one time.
Yeah, so just trying to figure it out.
So we set all the meters.
We said every meter.
And what's our meter connection fee?
For a 5/8 by 3/4 meter for the water only is $920 plus the cost of the meter, which I believe is about $650.
About $1,500.
Right.
And what's the sewer tap?
$1,800. It's 36.65 or 37 something all in.
I was thinking it was 47, but I mean.
Well, if you want to pay 47, sir, we're happy to take your extra
Well,
$1,000.
I don't want to give you any money.
Should we be, when will we last look at that?
They were adjusted in 2018, 2019. They have not been adjusted since that point.
Yeah.
I mean, we've held those rates steady. We've seen good growth, and ultimately, I mean, there are other areas where people are paying five-figure tap fees for single-family homes.
Right. But if we're gonna address affordable housing.
Right, exactly.
we Gotta try to keep it affordable. You know, somebody's gotta do it, because nobody else seems to be, right? So,
Okay. That it?
That's it, sir.
Have a motion to adjourn?
motion.
Second.
Means adjourned.